Influencers, the glamorous guys and girls living their best lives, the powerful voices that can alter a buying decision, the crowd that gets a lot of love, and hate. When being asked the question, what do you want to be when you grow up? The classic answer includes astronaut, teacher, pro athlete, firefighter, or doctor. But for Gen Zs, it's to be an influencer.
What?
What are you doing?
I'm trying to be an influencer, Hunter.
One of the many highlights of my Europe trip with Olivia is the people we got to meet and talk to, especially the spontaneous occurrences where we ran into our subscribers. Y'all were super lovely. Social media is an interesting space where for me, the subscribers and followers seems like such an abstract number until I read thoughtful comments from you guys or run into you in person and remind myself how special it is that we have a community of lovely humans, actual humans, supporting each other on our growth journey. And for the longest time, I hated the word influencer.
Do you call yourself an influencer? I don't. We don't use the I word. We don't use the I word.
It seemed like something derogatory, which I'll go over why in a second. But through contemplating what this term really means to me and marinating that with some of Emma Chamberlain's thoughts on how the influencer era is coming to an end from her podcast I listened to a few months ago. Today, I want to discuss the evolution of the influencer culture, the reasons behind the rise in influencer fatigue, and my hypothesis on what's next.
POV and LA influencers spending money they don't have.
To get started, what is an influencer? Influencers go beyond just the Instagram model. From comedy and education YouTubers to Twitch streamers to content bloggers to podcasters to dancing TikTokers. There are uncountable definitions of an influencer. By Merriam-Webster, an influencer is one who exerts influence, a person who inspires or guides the actions of others. Often specifically a person who is able to generate interest in something, such as a consumer product by posting about it on social media. Obviously, times have changed where the following sizes mean different things on different platforms, but there are generally 4 types of influencers. Nano influencers have between 1,000 to 10,000 followers. Micro-influencers with between 10,000 to 100,000 followers, macro-influencers with between 100,000 to 1 million followers, and mega-influencers with more than 1 million followers. It's really interesting how when people think of the term influencer, they generally think of females with a large following, but neglect that a lot of male creators and voices are just as influential and are making just as much money, if not more than their female counterparts, from their influence. Some of the top female influencers in their respective niche include Emma Chamberlain, Charli D'Amelio, Chiara Ferragni, and actually the Hadid sisters and the Kardashians, while some of the top male influencers in their respective niche include Mr. Beast, Zach Kane, David Dobrik, James Charles. The evolution of the influencer culture. Traditionally, marketing includes your print, TV, and billboard ads, as well as radio, outbound, and phone marketing. But even prior to that, the concepts of influencers began as early as 1760. A potter named Josiah Wedgwood created a tea set for Queen Charlotte and publicized himself as the Potter of Her Majesty. The title and the royal family's stamp of approval deemed his brand as a staple and is thus called the father of modern marketing. The concept of modern-day social media influencers did not start with social media platforms. It started with mommy bloggers, which was authentic and relatable. This opened a brand new door to marketing which was unseen before. Even though brands worked with celebrities long before the era of influencer marketing, the difference between celebrities and social media influencers is that influencers have this unprecedented level of relatability. Because like the most of us, they do not star in million-dollar blockbusters nor drop a Billboard 100 mixtape. Like the most of us, they are just living their lives. Like the most of us, they face the mundane, everyday issues too.
One of my favorite things to do on the internet is fart, burp, and overshare. And drink coffee. ChamberlainCoffee.com.
And share it.
How to get over a mental breakdown.
We see ourselves in them. Soon enough, with the boom of Vine, YouTube, Instagram, and other social media platforms, a variety of internet stars are born, where followers feel a genuine connection with the influencers, especially if they feel like they could relate to them. Brands really saw this as an opportunity, as it is way cheaper to work with influencers versus celebrities, and the impact of influencer endorsement is much greater. According to a Morning Consult report, millennials trust influencers 12% more on product recommendations than their favorite celebrities, while 88% of Gen Z and millennials assert that authenticity and genuine interest are desirable qualities.
I'm not really sure what this does. It's kind of giving like Dwight.
Is this the end of influencers? Influencer marketing has grown to $13.8 billion in 2021. Businesses are making $5.78 ROI for every $1 spent on influencer marketing. There has been a 465% increase in searches for the phrase influencer marketing on Google alone since 2016. This seems like a booming hot market. So where did things begin to go wrong? Declining relatability. With the boom of influencer marketing and a lot more money flowing into the creative industry, being an influencer has become a potential pathway to a more luxurious lifestyle. Designer brands, sports cars, mansions, the lifestyle of some ultra-successful influencers resemble that of traditional celebrities, which there is nothing wrong with because it's their own financial decisions. But the overly perfect portrayal of the influencer flex lifestyle has been much criticized and unfollowed because it not only doesn't add much value to the followers, but also make people feel negative about themselves through social comparison. So the relatability that might have been what made the influencers famous in the first place are much diminished, and therefore trust levels begin to diminish as well. Perfect segue to declining trust.
Shout out to my new sponsor, the coldest water bottle.
Like Emma Chamberlain said, because everyone is trying to be an influencer, the industry has become less exclusive and also less credible. Due to the abundance of influencer marketing, a lot of endorsements are becoming less and less genuine, where products have been promoted without even being tested by the influencer, or poor quality products have been promoted.
They're so beautiful. I love them so much. I love using this so much.
Which, as a viewer, I've definitely experienced before, where the quality of the brand of clothing that worked with one of my favorite influencers is just disappointing. And I totally understand that, influencer or not, we all have bills to pay, and working with brands is an extremely crucial source of income for influencers. But promoting just about any brand that pays is a breach of trust between the influencer and their followers. The difference between an influencer and a billboard is that the influencer has a personality and a connection with their followers. So the fact that a lot of instances in the industry where poor quality products or even services like plastic surgery has been promoted really left a poor impression on the whole influencer title in general, which I honestly think is sad, because for most creator influencers I know personally, we care a lot about our community and want to bring value to the people who place their trust in us. However, everyone is an influencer. More than 50 million people around the world now consider themselves to be influencers or creators. Along with the boom of TikTok, the barrier of entry to the influencer industry is at its lowest. Everyone is becoming an influencer. Anyone with a phone can just shoot a video that might not be funny, educational, nor aesthetically pleasing, but just blow up randomly courtesies to the algorithm. Moreover, with the TikTok beauty algorithm, anyone with a pretty face or hot body is almost guaranteed to attract a following on TikTok based on their appearance. I'm sure I'm not the only one who has scrolled through TikTok and wondered, how did an account that is objectively boring and uncreative get such a big following? Honestly, this was the reason I hated to be called an influencer for the longest time. I see myself as a serious creator, a storyteller, and someone who wishes to add value to my audience's lives. But the fact that nowadays anyone with an Instagram or TikTok account over a few hundred followers began to call themselves an influencer made the term influencer lose quite a bit of meaning and respect. Plus the fact that there are so many influencers who blew up on TikTok with millions of followers, the big numbers of followers mean less and less because Everyone now has a huge following. But unlike the OG YouTube days where subscribers are actual fans who will line up and meet and greets, numbers no longer mean followers. So what's next? So with everything kind of going downhill, Emma Chamberlain made the prediction that influencers won't even exist in the future, where everyone is an influencer. Kind of like when everybody is tall, then nobody is tall, which I do agree with to a certain extent. Even prior to the digital age, even without social media, we as humans are influencers naturally. We are constantly influencing our friends and family, our neighbors, our physical community. It's just that with social media, that impact has been magnified. And to be honest, from this perspective, I no longer dissociate myself from the term influencer. I think it's a blessing to be able to connect with so many people and form a genuine community. And with that, I feel a sense of responsibility to truly serve the community and be a valuable resource through my creative storytelling. We are all influencers to a certain extent, online or offline. The digital era breaks down the barriers of connection where we all have a voice more powerful than we think. So really, what are the impacts you want to make? So that is all I wanted to discuss today regarding the shift in influencer culture. Let me know in the comments of your thoughts on influencer culture and where you think it's going. I'd love to hear them. Don't forget to like and subscribe and follow me on Instagram to join the Unlimited community. I'll see you next week. Bye.
This is the end.